Oh. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Rosehead podcast. We're back for another episode, leading into the international break now with Norwich in the top six. That's the important thing, and Liverpool getting knocked out of the FA Cup
Yeah,
in
brilliant.
incredible fashion. It's been a really good weekend for the FA Cup, I must say. Apart from the Man City boring,
Yeah,
predictable win, it's been a very exciting of FA Cup weekend of FA Cup football. Um, yeah, obviously I can imagine you're not too happy, Adam.
no, not particularly happy, but I was speaking to one of my mates who's a United fan. I said to him before the game, I went 2-1. I think it's going to go either way. I don't know. I had a feeling they'd be up for it because, like, the fact that it gets to stop the whole potential quadruple, like all this stuff, and it's the
There's no
main thing.
potential quadruple anymore, though. That's the
There's
thing.
not exactly,
It's
and that's
done.
added
It's
incentive
over.
for them. It's over, which is it's,
Klopp's tenure is now just a failure. You know what I
it's
mean?
now
It's just
just yeah,
it's
just
just a
may as well get rid
failure.
of him now. To be honest, what's the
Yeah.
point of keeping him? And obviously the fact that that's all United are in, so. And it's at home. Like, there's a lot of things in there like that back then, but I don't know. I thought it was a really good game. Annoyingly, it was a great game, like for a neutral. Not for me as a fan, but
Yeah.
neither team really wanted to defend. Really, it just a couple of sort of just silly goals that both teams gave away. Couldn't hold
It's
on to.
entertaining, and that's what a
That's what
neutral.
it's all about, and
That's what the
that's
FA Cup's
yeah.
supposed to be.
And for a very rare change, there's actually a lot of goals in extra time. Like, well, as soon
Yeah, I
as it
was
went
surprised by
to time,
that.
yeah, there's usually maybe one, if anything. But the fact there was three just shows you like how, and there
Yeah.
probably could have been more as well. There's some decent attempts, but I don't know. We're out. I suppose the only consolation is it's like an extra game for City to focus on and not us. But that's clutching at straws, really. It's one of them. Like, not that. It's obviously disappointing. I would have liked to have win it because it would have been. But if you'd have said to me at the start of the season, like maybe the Carabao Cup, Europa League, and Prem potentially, I'll still be very happy. So I can't really complain too much, but would have
Yeah.
been nice because especially to United, that's their trophy. Even if they get knocked out, they'll
Yeah,
hold that.
that's the only thing that they're really playing for now. So yeah, makes sense. But obviously we had Coventry win, scoring a goal in the 97th minute and the
What a goal as
100th
well!
minute.
What a goal! That was a
Yeah.
brilliant goal.
Hadji Wright, still the second best American striker in the league behind Josh Sargent. But you know, that is straight facts, by the way. That's not even me being biased. Josh Sargent's goal scoring record in the championship this season is something to be bewildered by. Um,
Hell of a
so
front two though.
yeah, I know. Yeah, the USA they've got a knack for breeding championship talent. So we'll see Gio Reyna in there next year and Christian
Yeah,
Pulisic.
did you know he's just agreed to go somewhere, didn't he? This I
He's at
swear.
Nottingham Forest, who are going
Yeah,
to be in the championship next
that is
season,
very
quite
strange, isn't
possibly.
it? Yeah.
So yeah, I mean there is that. But
Yeah, that was a two goals right at the end of the game, wasn't it? 95th and 90.
well, it was
Oh, yeah.
97th and
That
100th. Yeah,
was,
Ellis Sims and Hadji Wright popping up.
yeah.
Crazy again. It's just what the FA Cup's about, isn't
I
it?
was about to say that's literally it, to be honest.
That
That's what
epitomizes it. I think the weekend itself, apart from the Man City game, which was boring,
you
um,
knew that would happen. I thought City would have scored more, but they probably just got a couple of
just got
goals up and
bored. They
thought,
just
yeah,
got
that's
bored.
it.
Um,
And you-
and then obviously the Chelsea game, Axel Disasi,
That was a
the,
thrilling game, yeah.
a disaster class from him.
Disaster. Oh, see who did that?
You
No,
see what I did there? You see it?
I saw that. That was good. That was good.
Mm.
Yeah, Sterling also was not having his best game, getting booed by his own fans.
I was trying
Missing
to
the
think.
penalty.
No, I really was trying to think. You saw his free kick.
Yeah, that was shocking.
I was thinking, is that the worst free kick I've ever seen?
I'd rather him just have like
No, no, but is that the worst free kick
smacked
you've
the
ever
wall like,
seen?
really
Because,
lightly
like,
or like anything. Like, he was
I
better
don't
off just.
know.
I don't. Yeah, it's
I
one of
don't
the
think it is. I think that I've seen a worse free kick than that.
the run up. Like as soon as you saw it, because from the original picture, he wasn't even on the screen for the run up, and then that's all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere, and then you're like, oh, what is he doing?
I've seen
Like,
Kyle Lafferty in this in pretty much the same position that Raheem Sterling was in to take the free kick. Kyle Lafferty for Norwich at Wigan away hit a free kick in a similar position, and it went out for a throw in.
oh no. That's horrendous. And then it
um,
just summed up his game. Like he missed so many chances, the penalty obviously as well. It just wasn't his day. And I would say Mudryk played really well. It's one of the first
hmm.
times I've seen him play well, and he looked really good in that number 10 role. So that could be something that Chelsea potentially use.
I think
Obviously,
the game changer when Doyle got himself sent off for Leicester. You know, it kind
that was
of
yeah, it was
that was the game
definitely
changer because Leicester are really growing into it, and you know,
oh yeah, they were their Mavididi scored a really nice goal.
yeah, Mavrodidi's a hell of a player,
Yeah, but as
hell
you
of a
said, that
player.
like you almost would you rather say giving him a penalty and a yellow maybe instead of a red and a do
I
you
think
reckon that?
penalty and a yellow. To be fair, I think because they Chelsea was so, I mean, they're useless at the back.
Yeah,
You'd fancy yourselves maybe to get one more goal scoring opportunity,
yeah, with
and the
yeah,
penalty could still be saved by the goalkeeper. He saved one earlier in the game as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah,
So I
so
think you know you'd
a red card it
red
changes
card
this.
and the free kick. The
Changes
red card just completely changes the you know the motion of the game. So
it.
I think the you know the Leicester would have probably preferred the penalty and the yellow.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, I'd agree with you there. To be honest, I thought Madueke got a nice goal. I think it was deflected, but it was a nice play to get the shot off.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think who
Well,
scored the last one.
I want to
Was it?
say it was Kenny Chukwuemeka, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, he got the third
He
one.
got the
Madueke
third.
got the
That's it.
last
And
one.
Madueke
That
got
was
the
a really
fourth.
nice goal actually. The Czechoslovakia one. That was some really nice build-up play. And I think yeah, I wouldn't. Chelsea were a bit shaky without Enzo Fernandez in that midfield. Like
Yeah,
Conor
I
Gallagher.
mean, I don't think they get into the final. Let's put it that way. I think Man City beat them.
Oh,
It's going to be a Manchester derby in the FA Cup final again.
yeah, I thought so. Yeah, to be honest, I'd love. You almost. It'd be
You want
cool to
Covent, you want like a
would,
lower
but
league
then it
team like
could be like
Coventry to get
it could be
to
like
get
a
to
four or
final.
five nil in the final. Then if it's City Coventry, do you know what I mean?
I mean, any United or Coventry could be a 5-0 in the final.
That's true. Actually, yeah, that's the thing. Um, unless they surprise us into the Chelsea Coventry final, then it could be like a Coventry could somehow win it. But I would be very surprised if either of them beat.
Imagine that because they're not going up this season, by the way, Coventry. They're not even like they're not. I mean, they're near the top six. They're not far off, but they're not better than Norwich. They're not better than Hull. They're not better than West Brom.
Hmm.
They're not going up. They win the FA Cup. They're playing, I think, Europa League football, Conference League football next
Europa League,
season.
yeah, of course. It goes, yeah.
Yeah,
And
whilst in the Championship. Um,
that's surely one of the only times that's ever happened.
I remember it's happened before with Birmingham and I think Wigan when they won the FA Cup because they got relegated that season.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's crazy. That'd be really cool if that does happen.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Birmingham because they won the
I'd
League
just be
Cup but got
surprised.
relegated that season. That's it, yeah. And then
What do
same
you
Wigan,
think of
but
the whole?
no championship sides like sort of won it and then played championship next season
Oh,
and sort of thing. But
what
anyway,
do you
carry
think
on.
of the whole semi-finals at Wembley?
Yeah, no, I like that. This is the thing.
Really?
Yeah, because but
Oh,
you have to think about what team I support compared to what team you support. Do you see where I'm coming from? Because
I see
look at
your point.
Coventry fans. Look at Coventry fans, for example. All right, no,
I get.
you ask any fan outside the top six and ask them, do you think this FA Cup semi-final should be at Wembley? They will say yes, because those clubs don't have the opportunity to go to Wembley as much as like Liverpool, where you've been there, God knows how many times in the last
Yeah,
5 years. You look at
yeah.
Chelsea, how many times have they been there? Your City,
I
United,
suppose when you sit at that,
Arsenal,
yeah.
Spurs. I mean, Spurs not really so much, but you know what I mean. Like, um,
I think maybe it.
do you know the last time I saw Norwich at Wembley?
I
I
probably
was
have to.
15 years old, Adam. I was 15 years old.
Well,
I was still shoving Lego up my ass.
wait, you still do that now?
Metaphorically. Metaphorically.
Yeah.
Um, but you
I
know
know.
what I mean?
I see
Um,
what you mean, but like, I suppose maybe my
I'd do
perspective
anything to see. I'd do anything to see
is
Norwich in
it
the final.
like
But you
it
have to
takes a
ask.
bit off the final, maybe. But then that's, as I said, my
No,
view.
no, because the
Mm.
final holds an occasion itself. I do see your point of it. It does.
That's
It
I
might take,
understand. I completely get where you're coming from as well.
but you
That's the
have to
thing.
understand a small team like a Coventry, like a Sheffield United last season. Didn't know they reached they reached the semis, didn't they? Yeah, it
Yeah,
was an all Manchester derby. Um,
yeah.
your Sheffield United, your Coventry's, you know,
Would you not
Norwich,
think though? Like,
any lower level team, them getting to the semi final and getting that Wembley achievement is massive for their club.
would you not prefer maybe a semi-final at you're at Norwich hosting Man City, like sort of like that sort of
Nah, that's
feel?
like bollocks. Get at Wembley
Would you not?
because we're
Well,
not going to beat Man City. We know that.
yeah,
If we get a Premier
yeah.
League team in the semi final, we will at least want that day out at Wembley.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I
I
suppose you
get
have
for your
to,
big six
but yeah,
teams, like you're like,
completely
yeah,
get
no, I
you.
really can't be asked. But the thing is, if you can't be asked for it at Wembley, it's going to be played at a neutral ground anyway.
See, in my opinion, if it's not a Wembley, it should be at whoever gets drawn first, like it is in any other round. I wouldn't do neutral ground.
Mm.
I don't think that's a. But then as to be fair, when you look at it from other clubs' perspective, yeah, I completely do get it. To be fair, so yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'd say it'd be Man City winning that quite comfortably. I don't see any
Definitely.
team left in that really causing them too much. Although Chelsea obviously did draw them twice this season, so
Mm.
but
We
I
never
think.
know. We never know. That's the magic of the FA Cup. Anything could happen.
Mhm.
But we'll move on to the England team being announced. Kobe Mainoo
Yes,
um, has been upgraded to the first team, which I'm a massive fan of. A midfield three of him, Bellingham, and Rice.
not meant, not much creativity in it, but there's a lot of running in it at least.
Not much
I would
creative. Bellingham,
no, but as
Rice
in like,
as well.
if you just said Foden in there, that
But mate,
people might.
Foden's already got the left hand side on lock, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
With
yeah. No,
Saka,
I know what you mean.
Saka
Unfortunately, I
playing
don't
on the
think
right.
Manu's going to start in the Euros though.
No, but
Unfortunately.
just the idea of it, I think.
Oh, it's a
I
it's a
think
brilliant. I think
I
it
don't
could
know.
be
The
something.
creativity is there for me. I don't. I think that's a bit harsh.
I don't know. There wouldn't be players that like can break lanes and stuff with
Yeah, but
passes. They're
then
not cut that
England
big.
never wouldn't have that anyway. They'd be playing like Jordan
James
Henderson.
Maddison. Oh yeah,
Mm,
okay.
yeah, but England don't
I
play
think
with a
James
10, do they?
Maddison.
England don't play with a 10. They play like with two eights and a six.
Oh yeah, no, no, that's what. Yeah, I think
But
Bellingham
again,
like
Rice
got
in the
his
higher
own.
position can be creative. He has got that passing ability,
Yeah, if you got given the freedom, maybe more so than he
and
has the
Bellingham
pass.
as well. So you know,
Bellingham just gets told to go out and just play football and do his thing. I think now, to be
Bellingham
honest.
just doesn't even get told what to do. He
Yeah, I
just
feel like he generally just has his own role, just to run about, do what you want. Um,
yeah.
but
But
otherwise, glad Joe Gomez got called up. I'm glad
yeah,
for him.
deserved if
Uh,
you got deserved,
mm.
deserved. Do you know? I'm still quite annoyed that that do you know what? I'm genuinely trying to think so hard of an English player that's played well for us. Ben Gibson. I'm angry at Ben
oh,
Gibson hasn't been called up. He's actually
yeah,
been
I
quite
did.
good
Yeah.
recently.
Southgate did
Um,
say it was close to it. I heard he said he was thinking about
it was
Gibson.
it was between him and John Stones. I heard John
Yeah,
Stones. He's one of us.
he had to go with who he's backed before, so he just
Crazy.
chose. Maybe for Euros he'll make a bit of a surprise
Just trying to
entrance.
think of an English player for us, and that's actually been starting recently. Because
Sam
obviously
McCallum.
Sam McCallum. Yeah,
Yeah, Luke Shaw's out injured. Chilwell's only
you
always
need a
injured.
left back. Sam McCallum. He's becoming. Well, Nulis is injured at Norwich, so
Exactly.
get him in,
Get him in
get
after
him
his
in.
50th appearance for the club recently.
Yeah, yeah. I was shocked by that when I saw that. It's coming into very Norwich podcast today, isn't it? This is really.
Yeah.
No. Carry on. Don't stop. You know what I
So
mean?
regarding England, though, obviously recently Ben White decided. Well, there's obviously a lot more to it. Supposedly, like supposedly he
I
fell
see. This
out
is the
with
thing. I
his
know exactly
sister.
what you're going to bring up. I think everyone knows what you're going to bring up about Ben White, but I think there's deeper underlying issues between him and Gareth Southgate.
Oh yeah, there is. Supposedly he fell out with the assistant last summer or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, but do you think it's bad that players are able to just like how many players have you seen recently
pull
just pull
out.
out with injuries? I know they're friendlies now, so I don't really I get it. Especially with it being the business end of the season now, like you're playing for all the cups,
I
trophies.
see. This is the thing. I don't like the international breaks.
I hate the international breaks. I'm exactly with you.
So
But gone are the
I think
days
you
that
have one
should be
international break
hard to
during the
honour.
season. You have the end of the season where you have the break, and you have a mid-season international break for a couple of weeks, and you play maybe three games during that,
Oh, so
and
you think you almost have like
two
like
breaks. So like you end the
almost like a
season
mini Euros
like a
as
like a
such.
winter break, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
For
That's
like maybe
quite a good idea.
for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so.
Like a whole month and where you play all your qualifiers,
You play
bang.
you well, not all of them, but
Or like half of them or
yeah,
something
you
or
play half like. And you lower the amount of games and the amount of workload because this is the
Mm,
issue. The reason why players are pulling out. Obviously, granted, and getting paid so much, you shouldn't argue about the workload, but their players are pulling out left, right, and centre.
they don't
Josh
want to risk
Sargent pulled out
themselves.
the USA squad. Am I
Mm.
happy about that? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same with
You know what I
Nunes.
mean? But this is the
100%.
thing. It shouldn't come to a case that we're
They
happy
shouldn't have to
players are
choose.
pulling
Mm.
out their international squads for the sake of the club. You know,
Especially when
players.
it's friendlies. I
Yeah,
just think it's so sick. Like we're playing Brazil and I'm not too sure on our other team.
Belgium.
Belgium. So they're both actually, to be fair, decent games, but there's not going to be any intensity. You're not going to be, do you know what I mean? All
But
the
this is the
players are
thing. I
there
think
like
the
thinking
qualify.
about
Yeah,
Champions League
this is
ties and stuff like that.
having
They're not
like
gonna be,
just a couple of weeks during the season where you're having international breaks here, there, and everywhere. Have
mm,
your end of season, obviously, when you play some international football, and you're sort of like 3, 4 weeks over the winter period as well.
mm. Yeah,
You know,
I
that
think that's
gives
actually
teams a
quite a good way to
break.
work it, to be fair, because you could play some of your qualifiers almost before the season and then finish them in the mid-season. Then that's done then. Or
Obviously, it
actually,
would
yeah,
work.
every tournament's every two
It,
years. Realistically, you could two
yeah, yeah, yeah,
breaks in,
exactly. So it makes
across two
sense. It
seasons,
makes
you
so
get it
much more
done.
sense.
Yeah, that
And
would make a
obviously,
lot
if
of
you lower
sense.
the amount of qualifying games as well you're playing, so like instead of like having a group of like six, have a group of like 4 or 5 or
Or
something. I don't know.
yeah,
You know,
that's the thing. I
lower it a
think
bit.
it doesn't even help that the qualifying is always a mess anyway. You
Yeah,
see the same
exactly.
teams go through. You see the same. We played San Marino and Slovakia for the last God knows how long, and Poland, and
Y-
so
Yeah,
I
I think
still
that.
think it's wrong that I sneeze.
Oh, go on. Oh,
Okay, I'm
bless
on.
you.
Um, I think it's wrong that you said players do pull out because they like Ben White. Okay, something's obviously happened, but
Yeah, something's happened there behind the
something should
scenes.
also be said that like, okay, you've decided not to come. I'm not going to choose you now. Like, I think there should be some sort because it should in football the biggest pride or honor you should be able to do
Mm.
is play for your country.
That's the thing.
And the fact you have
We've got players pulling
players
out that
able,
are obviously probably just want some of the best for their country. I mean,
mm,
maybe not obviously in Ben White's case. He's probably
yeah,
the
no,
best England player, but I think I've seen like Virgil van Dijk pull out before.
yeah, they've
Uh,
all done it,
you've
so they don't
seen, I
want to get
think,
injured.
other
It's
yeah.
understandable.
There's other players, especially over AFCON as well.
We've got Salah. Just he's been well. He asked Egypt not to pick him for this upcoming one because he's just back from injury and obviously he didn't want. But and for friendlies, I get it a little bit because they're not made.
Yeah,
But if it
but for
qualifies, it's different. But
and for like competitions as well.
it's weird because with Ben White, I'm like, okay, so you've currently got a few like players out injured in defence. You think there's no Trippier, there's no Trent, there's no Reece James. I think there's some centre backs that aren't playing brilliant. You'd argue maybe one of them spots is up for grabs. Like I know Stones is going to play, but he's very hit or
Well,
miss with injury.
Branthwaite's been called up, hasn't he?
Branthwaite, so Joe Gomez. Like for me, Branthwaite, Joe Gomez, and Ben White are all challenging each other to get that final spot, to
But
be that
where
third
is Ben
centre
White
back.
playing? This is the thing.
That's the thing. Ben White can play off the right as can Gomez. So it's like these guys should almost be using these two games to go, I want to make it
Yeah.
on that plane. If I do well in these two
It's silly
games,
because I think, yeah, like you say,
I'm in.
wearing your national colours is a pride. The managers aren't going
It
to be
should
there
be.
forever, but Ben White, he isn't old. He's got plenty of
No.
years ahead of him potentially in the England squad. I think he's got to grab every opportunity that he can.
Oh
Obviously,
yeah, and
whatever's happened behind the scenes is,
especially now with the injuries, I think
yeah.
he's not going to
I
get
mean,
better
whatever's
once.
happened behind the scenes, we don't know that yet. So we're going off what we've seen
Yeah.
and what's happened of what we've been told and stuff. So that's what we're going on. Obviously, if there's deeper underlying stuff behind the scenes that we don't know
Mm,
of, then obviously, then fair enough. If that's if it does constitute to Ben White dropping out the England squad. But
mm,
Adam, obviously, it does bring up a very interesting debate, and I think it's a debate that's often brought around football fans, around match going fans as well, such as
mm.
myself, but football fans in general, is club over country. So
Yeah.
are you what are you club over country? What would you rather? Liverpool win the Premier League this season, or England win is it the Easter Euros this summer?
Right. I'd probably go Prem. I can't even lie. I'd go Prem.
We've got
I
to ask
would.
me the same question now, like I
Oh,
mean,
Ducker, what would you choose? Club over country.
yeah, but
Would you have, would you either win the playoff final,
yeah,
last minute winner against Ipswich,
yeah.
or would you rather see England win the Euros?
Well, obviously Norwich win the playoffs because I'm Dutch, so
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
you
Okay.
know what I mean. Like,
Or
regardless,
Netherlands win, or Van Dijk lift the Euros.
still Norwich to win the playoff final.
Mm,
Absolutely. Even though I don't like, if we go up, I know we're going to get dicked every game. We're going to finish rock bottom,
yeah.
but it's just that's still what you aim for.
Mm.
You hear
Why
Norwich
do you
fans
think you prefer
complain.
club over country? What would it be for you? Just
I mean, I religiously follow Norwich. Like it is, it's a really bad addiction. It is genuinely
okay.
like the dirtiest heroin you can get following Norwich and being addicted to it. It's just horrible.
Mm,
Um, I don't know. I think it's because obviously I've been so many games with Norwich. I've been all over the
yeah.
country. I've
Mm,
done like nearly 60 of the 92 with Norwich.
mm.
Um, I've seen us win the league at Villa Park. I've seen us get relegated at home to Spurs. I've seen us win at Wembley.
So
I've done.
would you like, so for example, when England lost the Euros to Italy a few years
Yeah.
ago, would you be more gutted if, let's say, Norwich lost the playoff final
Oh yeah,
than
absolutely. Without a shadow.
So
With
when England
England,
get knocked out, are you like you're obviously a bit okay? Or Netherlands, sorry. Would you be like obviously Netherlands? I was with you when Argentina beat Netherlands. Obviously, you're gutted. That was brilliant. That was a great day. But
that, yeah, yeah. I mean, you were with me, and I think even like obviously I was massively pissed off.
you
I
got
forgot
over
there's
it
a
quickly.
yeah, I
It
got
was
over it very quickly. Me and my sister just done some Jaeger bombs and got over it.
yeah.
It's easy that with Norwich, like when
It can
even
piss
if
you off
Norwich,
all week
the thing is,
almost.
even if Norwich like lose a game, just in
Oh,
general,
yeah.
it will
I know what you
ruin
mean.
my
I
mood
can
for the
be
whole
yeah.
week. I remember
Mm,
we lost to Middlesbrough at home. Oh, not at home, away a couple of weeks ago. I remember going into work and I just had a face like a slapped arse the whole day.
mm,
I was in a foul mood. It was just because Norwich lost. It was
yeah.
just because Norwich lost. But you know, if Netherlands get knocked out of the Euros, remember the next day I was out down the pub drinking, pretending I'm English, and England were playing France and got knocked out. So
No.
you know what I
I
mean?
think it doesn't help for me around England. Like I think there's so much more. It's like there's a massive what if. And I can't stand Gareth
But
Southgate. I
there's
can't
so
stand
many
the way he plays.
generations where that question has been
Yeah.
asked as well,
And
which is the
that's where
annoying
I'm
thing.
like, I look
It's
at
just
it and
what
go,
generation is going to give it the answer.
what is they go, oh, the golden generation. Like if we can win it with a midfield of Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, what makes you think we can win it with Kobe Miney, Declan Rice, and Bellingham? I know I'm not saying these guys can't go on to be
Jude Bellingham
world
is
stars.
on that level of Gerrard and Lampard. He
Not
hasn't
yet.
got no no
He
no no
can
no
be.
no no. He hasn't got the numbers to back it up yet. Granted, his performance and his ability, he's a world beater.
Oh, oh yes, he is. But
Same as
that's
Gerrard and
my point.
Lampard.
It's like you, and also okay, the midfield's okay, maybe a bit closer, but defense, Rio and Terry versus Maguire and John Stones.
Yeah, but to be fair, when Maguire has put on an England shirt,
He
it's
doesn't
just,
turn into
he
a
just
Ferdinand. Ashley Cole versus we don't even have a left back at the moment for England.
Luke Shaw did score in the Euro 2020 final.
But that's also like we were at home, we had all the advantage, and we
Mm,
still did against the Italy team that couldn't even qualify for the World Cup.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that,
it begs a good question, doesn't it? It's just
I,
really it's
I I
crazy.
think maybe as soon as Southgate goes and I start seeing more players that I like, Liverpool players, get more minutes for England, maybe I'll start to get a bit more involved. But I don't. I struggle. I really struggle to get into it. I really do. I'm there
Listen,
like,
I've lost all interest in the sense that I will not even watch the games like on TV. I will not
yeah,
bother. I don't
I couldn't
care
tell you when
enough.
we're actually playing these
Like
friendlies. I watch the
even Holland
tournaments.
games, I don't think I know what our last international game was against and who.
Yeah, no, it often
I can't remember the
depends.
last time. I think the last time I actually physically sat down and
Probably
watched the
was the
Netherlands was the Argentina game.
yeah.
I'll
And
be honest,
I agree with you. There'll be so many times,
I don't
yeah, that I'm
care
just in
enough.
work and someone will go, "Oh, you're watching England tonight?" I'll go, "Oh, I didn't
Like
even know they were on."
saying that, I do have a lot of mates that follow England away,
Hmm,
and they love it. They have the best time of their lives, and I know they're more country over club. Like they'd rather see England win a World Cup and stuff.
yeah.
And I get that. Like it's each to their own. But for me, I'm so absorbed with Norwich. I don't really have time to
For me, yeah, I know it's
be
sometimes
absorbed with the
international
disappointment of the
break can
Netherlands.
be an inconvenience, and you're like, "Oh, I really want to watch Norwich again,
I
but I
mean, don't
don't
get me
watch
wrong. I was
England."
gutted when we lost in the World Cup final to Spain. I remember. I even remember that night. Like,
Um,
I was 10 years old and I was in
Iniesta.
bits. I remember beating Brazil and it was crazy. And then 4 years later, doing the 5-1 on Spain. That was
Yeah.
mental.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
it.
then yeah, finishing third that year.
I think
But
I just mainly because of all that the media and just the whole publicity around England, it just does my head in, and like or maybe all that side of things and stuff. But
just the whole
I
phrase
don't.
is coming home. It's
Oh,
like
it
it
annoys me.
is. It just epitomizes the phrase. It's the hope that kills
It is every year. It's the same. Like,
every year.
and I think the only benefit for me watching the international break is like thinking, okay, we've got players out injured. It gives them 2 weeks to recover for the club team. Every time I watch internationals, all I'm doing is so I might check on like okay, so obviously like Liverpool will post like oh Diaz scored for Colombia, whatever. I'll watch that and the first thing I'll check is
Diaz
if he got
broke his
injured.
leg for Colombia,
Yeah,
and you're like, fuck. You
that's
know what
that's
I mean?
literally what I'm doing. I'm
No,
going,
genuinely, I
you get
remember.
injured, and I just hate it. That's my biggest thing. I worry about all. I almost don't want anyone to play just so
But
they don't. Get
like, for example, there has been international moments where like I've been proud of like my club players, sort of like when Finland
oh,
qualified for the Euros for the first time, and Timu Pukki got called up.
oh,
He's the country's top goal scorer, and he was playing for
good
Norwich
for
at the
them.
time. Like moments like that. Josh Sargent going to the World Cup last winter.
Oh yeah, I want them
Like,
all to do well, and like I do want England to win,
but
like as
I
much as
also
I
don't want
don't.
them to. on
I
the
don't
back
want
end of
them
the
to.
season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, save all their good form for the Euros and tournaments when we're not involved in it. Salah can do what he likes after the season's done. Just focus on the season, and then you can go do whatever you want. But
No, exactly.
I think it's a lot of people, as I said, maybe Southgate doesn't help me.
The thing is, don't get me wrong. I think Gareth Southgate. Like I'm very on the fence on Gareth Southgate. Some things he does I like and says I like. I think we have to. You have to admit, apart from the whole Ben and White situation, I mean, you put that out the window for a second. But look at the unity of the squad. Like, have you
Yeah,
seen an England squad this like tight knit together?
brilliant, but where's it got you? Brilliant, they're all mates. Great. Do you know what I mean? Like,
To be fair, me and you are friends.
yeah, there you go. Where's that got on us?
On the Rosehead
Like,
podcast, go subscribe, shouldn't you?
yeah, but like back in the day, Gerrard hated Lampard, Lampard hates, and that didn't get us anywhere. And now we're at the other end where they're all best mates, best
But
mans at
the
each other's
thing is,
weddings.
no,
And
no,
call it.
no, no. But the thing is, I think you have to admit we're getting closer. I say we
I,
like it's me. I don't really give a
I
shit.
don't know.
You're getting closer.
Yeah, we are, but we're also you'd argue we're
You're just
somehow
as far as
close,
well. You're just as
but
far.
at the same time we're getting just as far. Every like how are we favourites for the Euros above France? I'll never know. Like I think even if we beat France last year, okay, if Kane didn't bottle it 'cause he's not a big game player, yeah, I said it there. I'm what and missed the penalty. I still think we lose to Argentina in the final. I
Mm.
just think I think it would have been one of them games
But
where
do you know what? I think England win the Euros.
it might based on the team, just on paper, they should be in the
They'll
final.
win the Euros. They'll win the Euros. This is it, and I think Gareth Southgate will leave afterwards.
I don't think he will. I think if he wins it, knighthood statue, he's there for another couple of
10 years.
tournaments. Yeah, and that's my biggest worry. So it's like almost I want them to lose to get rid of him, but then it got like I
Mm.
don't know 'cause it just from the lineups and the squad choice. Okay, this one's a bit of a mess because there's a lot of injuries right now of English players. Um, like Henderson shouldn't be going anymore. The fact he still likes Phillips, I don't
I'm
know if
so
Phillips
glad
got.
you admit that.
Oh no,
Very
Henderson shouldn't.
surprised.
For months, I've been saying Kobe Mainoo should be going. Like, if even if Liverpool, some other Liverpool players were fit, I'd rather be. I said Curtis Jones should be going to England ahead of him. There's like there's just so many players that should be going ahead. Um, and stuff like that. It's team choice that gets me annoyed. Is
Mm.
selections and stuff. Just from the beginning, you're instantly just like, oh, I'm not really like looking forward to watching this team play. Um, but I'm kind of optimistic that we might win it. It's just you look at France and you go, what we think we have, they have as well.
All I'm asking, do you guys have Xavi Simmons?
No, we don't.
Do you guys have Cody Gapco, who only turns up in an orange shirt and never turns up in a red shirt?
Not this season anyway, but yeah. No, we do not.
Do you guys have Virgil van Dijk?
No, I wish we did.
Do you guys have
Frankie de Jong.
Frankie de Jong?
Shout out to him.
Shout out
But
to
no,
him.
we do not have Frankie de Jong.
This is why
With Cody.
Netherlands gonna win.
Well, I could sit here and go Foden,
Imagine.
Bernard.
Do you know what? I'd love that. Like a Wout Weghorst winner at the end. Like, I'd love nothing more. That man brought me one of the best nights of my life until Lionel Messi ruined it on penalties. Little
Oh
prick.
yeah, the last two
Um,
goals, didn't he? Right at the end, didn't he? Yeah.
yeah, that no, the last kick of the game was that free kick. Can you remember
Short free kick.
the short
Yeah.
free kick? Oh my word!
That was crazy. No, that was actually mental, that to be fair.
Jaeger bombs went flying.
Not quite Ryan Babel though, back in the day for
No, no,
Netherlands.
that was if we would have won that night, that would have beaten Ryan Babel back in the day. Um,
Or Van Persie's header against that was Spain, wasn't it? That
that
one.
was Spain, the dive into Flying Dutchman.
Robin's goal as well, and he cut back and
Mm.
the corner. Yeah,
But again, you talk about like the quality of like core players back in the day. Like obviously you're
Schneider,
bringing up Gerrard, Lampard, and this. You got to talk about Netherlands: Robin van Persie, Ruud van Nistelrooy,
Wesley
Wesley
Sneijder,
Sneijder,
Iron
Arjen
Robin.
Robben,
De Jong was quality as well.
yeah, Van
Mm.
Bommel,
Yeah, wasn't
Giovanni
that
Van Bronckhorst, if you remember
Broncos? He scored a worldie in one
that
of the
world
tournaments.
against Uruguay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Dirk Kuyt, mate.
Oh yeah, no, that's another one. That's another one.
Uh, Trying to test my Dutch.
John
Dirk.
Heitinga. There's the name.
Oh, he played for Everton, didn't he?
Yeah, Ron Vlaar.
Ron
Played-
Vlaar.
oh,
Ron
God,
Vlaar.
mate, we're just naming random players now. I'm going to end the podcast here because this is getting enough. We'll end it on Ron Vlaar. Um,
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to
the
think.
a
I
centre
can't think
half
of.
partnership of Ron Vlaar and John Heitinger. How about that?
Oh, there we
But
go.
yes, we'll
There's some
see
pain.
you after the international break. We're going to take a week break to because the international like we're literally epitomizing this podcast. It's fucking shit. So why are we going to talk on it unless something major happens?
Yeah.
We're probably we'll be back in 2 weeks. So have a
Hopefully with some
splendid
hot takes as well.
some
We know
hot
the like
takes.
before they were controversial, so we want to do that again.
We're going to do some hot takes,
Yeah.
most certainly.
And Bronkhurst better than John Terry or
I mean, a left
Von
back
Vlaar.
to a centre
Von
back.
Vlaar. Von Vlaar. That's what I meant.
Uh, John Heitinga is better than Joe Gomez.
There we go. Enough said.
There we go.